to beat us, but to,
Hmm.
yeah.
How can we say sir?
मेरा दिल नहीं कर रहा है।
Something.
Good evening, sir.
Hey, Shubhankar, why did you not attend the class yesterday? Did you too not have the heart to come?
No, sir. Yesterday I went to somewhere.
Good evening.
Hello, the if you have the heart to do something, it could mean courage, all right, not the desire. In English, if you say he had the heart to do something, it means he had the courage to do it. But if you mean to say desire, then the right word would be I didn't feel like coming yesterday. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to come. I didn't feel like coming. Hello, Rosanna. So,
Hello.
clever people who have figured out the grammar of English, they have figured out the grammar of English because of their intelligence, but because their limitation, their exposure to English language is very much limited, this is what happens. They end up making sentences like, I didn't have heart to come. Someone who says this sentence has not made any grammatical errors in this sentence. His sentence is absolutely perfect. I didn't have heart to come yesterday. But, this is Hindi translated into English words, okay? Hindi vocabulary into English vocabulary. Recording is on. Yeah. So instead of saying, I didn't have heart to come, you should have simply said, I didn't want to come. Or I didn't feel like coming yesterday. I was in no mood to come to class yesterday. I just wanted to stay at home or whatever, The thing is, it's not such a big deal to express this. If you want to make it emphatic, stronger, the idea,
This was the reason. It's my third homework, and I have total 7 homework all together.
So if you had gotten enough exposure, you would be speaking very good English already. Whose message is it? Ranveer. Ah, I see. Ranveer. So those people who are clever, they can work out the English grammar quite well, like these guys done. Area. So let's start the class. On that funny note, I don't have heart to start the class. Heart to start. Say sorry again. Say sorry again. Yes.
So, have fun. So much late.
Much too late.
Much too late.
Why? Why much too, not too much? Why not too much? But you didn't ask.
Going to ask.
No, you were not going. You accepted that.
I think this is that.
Now it doesn't matter what is correct because you're not interested in learning. That has been proven. Because you accepted what I said without asking why, what, because it's not something that you should have accepted. Everybody says too much late. And I said much too. So you should have asked me why. I have never heard much too. I've heard much too much. So
The real reason was you, if we will not ask any grammar
no. Some in some questions, why matters. You have to understand. I mean, you are saying too much as well, but we have discussed this. I said the tea is much too sweet. There's too much sugar in the tea. We had discussed this, and you're asking me today. You're saying you don't know why and this. We have already discussed. What does it prove? Okay, beta. Today you said now you said 2 October. Dashera is on 2 October. You said that. 2. It is on 2. We had a class, 2 days we discussed, or 3 days we discussed. And I said that I know you guys will make mistakes again with the same thing. So I'm going to maybe ask you what's the date every day for some days so that you can get used to this new idea. Do you remember me saying that? So just because a teacher has taught something doesn't mean that the students will actually start using that. You could revise the lesson right before an exam to get good marks, but you cannot revise a lesson before an exam to get skills. Skills are always earned or learned bit by bit. There is no shortcut that one night you will sit down and study for 10 hours and you will develop some special skills in certain thing. You want to make rotis. If you try that, if you think that you will, make rotis for 8 hours, 10 hours back to back, then you will become good at making roti. Then you are absolutely delusional. You don't know how the real world works. You have to separate those 9 hours, break it down into maybe 20 sessions of half an hour. And that will be more effective than 9 hours on the trot, 9 hours back to back, continuously. It's like, the medicine, that bottle, you don't drink it all at once and say, I got the benefit. Your body has a limitation. It can digest a certain amount at a time. The rest will be waste, or maybe it will have a side effect. Similarly, your brain also has a certain limitation. You learn things bit by bit. But because you don't study to develop skills, you don't realize this. You guys study to pass, to get good marks. Every student is studying the subject they have exam tomorrow of. If they have an English exam tomorrow, they're studying English today. They have maths exam tomorrow, they're studying maths today. Well, it's okay because you are preparing to pass an exam to get marks. But here we are not sitting to get marks. We are sitting here to develop some skills. And that's why your growth is slow, because you're not realizing why you're here. You're looking at it as just another class. You guys, especially students of school, school students, they don't understand because they have so many classes. They think it is just one more class, just another class. No class is teaching you skills except this one. They are teaching you how to get good marks in certain subject. Information they're sharing. When they teach you what pollination is, they are not giving you skills. They're giving you information, what pollination is. There is a blank space in your mind when you hear the word pollination, and the teacher explains what pollination is. Now there is no blank space. You know what pollination is. But it is not a skill. Making paratha is a skill. Repairing a TV is a skill. Riding a bicycle is a skill. Speaking English is a skill. It is not information. When will you realize it? If you go to a dance class, what are you going to do? How are you guys going to approach the dance class? Like your math class? Why? Because dancing is a skill. So please don't call it study, because I know what you mean when you say study. We are not here to study. We are here to learn a skill. And what is that skill? How to use English, speak or write. So if you want to learn to dance, what ideas do you have? How do you learn? You see the move. Your teacher gives you the move, or a dancer or a performer, whoever, you have a source. You look at the source, you observe the movement, you make an effort to make the same movement. You struggle at first, then you practice, the struggle becomes easier and easier. And then a time comes when you are making that move pretty effortlessly. Now somebody wants to fast forward this process, wants to quickly get there. Impossible. You have to go through this process. So if you want to learn the skill English, not the subject English, be ready to go through this process. And ask yourself if you have been studying English, the subject, or learning the skill in English. Time to check the homework.
Much too and too much based on
It's very simple. TOO2 is used. He is too rich. He is too tall. It is too heavy. These are adjectives. Okay. So we use the word much before to emphasize that too. This bag is much too heavy. Much is here just to emphasize that too. This bag is much too heavy. Much is here as an emphasizer, for the word too. It is much too heavy. Now, the tea is much too hot. It is too hot, and we are not satisfied with just too hot. We want to give it more emphasis. We want to give it more emphasis. Just too hot, we want to give it more emphasis. Oh, the tea is much too hot. The tea is much too hot.
it is normal, then we can say that it is
Too hot. Too hot. Much cannot be used before adjective. How can you use much before an adjective? Hello? Much refers to quantity. Adjectives are not nouns that you can use much before them. I don't drink much tea. I don't eat much sugar. You just did an exercise. I know where your weakness is. Many of you, smart students, are taking it very lightly. The reason? Because I'm not teaching you the conventional way. And if I start teaching conventional way, suddenly something will kick in and you guys will, yes, I want to do it. But what will be the benefit? If I teach you the conventional way, the result will be different. You guys will have information, not the skill. You are here for the skill. Your parents have sent you for skill or information only. Actually, the reality is everybody from day one, when they go to school, children, from day one, their parents and they have one dream that they will have a skill in English. But that dream never comes true because of the way we study. For majority of them, we have a thing here. Would you like to come this way? Remove this. This will not take your weight. This will not take your weight. Just remove this. Put it away. Yeah, good. Bahubali.
what's too.
Very good. So, come here. I am very sure that you guys are all going to learn, but it will take different amount of time for different individuals because of your sincerity. Come here, Peter, come here. We'll manage. Yeah. This way. Little closer to me. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, okay. Fine. Traditional conventional classes will ask you to remember things. And if you don't, next day there will be embarrassment. Keep standing, this, that, go outside the door. I do nothing of that sort. So where will you find your motivation? Because you guys only study to save your face. That's the reality. Be honest. You don't study because it is stimulating to learn new things. You study because otherwise you will be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's the reality. 90% times you guys study because there is a consequence you will have to face if you don't study. Embarrassment in class, in front of parents. That's why you study, not because you find it exhilarating, wow, exciting, wow. You don't feel that way. Language learning, that part is necessary. You have to find it exciting to learn new. Otherwise, two, despite all the lessons, you will say two. Despite all the lessons, you will say, what is the difference? It's not that we haven't studied these things. We have already studied. And it is the best thing about this class that we know that you will do this and we are ready for it. You will study the same thing 5 times, 6 times in this course. And not back to back 5 days. Later on, like after a gap of 30 days, 20 days, that thing will be again there in the syllabus somehow, maybe through our conversation. So you will keep getting that reminder, oh, what you studied, but at least show a little bit of interest. I'm disappointed in you. You're taking it just like you're going with the flow. You're not really making any special effort to be successful in this course. Zero. You're making zero effort, girl. I know this. I'm a very, very experienced teacher. I observe your body language. The way you repeated my phrase without caring. Okay, too much too. Okay, fine. Why? Don't you want to know? Why was it wrong? And the first time when I explained that to you, did you find it, whoa, okay, interesting? No, you didn't feel that way. You said, okay, information is coming. All right, that's it. When you feel that way, oh, okay. Is that why it is like this? Oh, I never thought about it that way. Unless you have these conversations going through your head, you're not going to remember it. It is called being involved. Hello, Lucky. Can we make the circle a little bigger so that we can interact? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to check the homework we had yesterday. I hope everybody has done their homework. Yes. Good. So from here on, just try one thing. Try to be involved. All I'm saying, now that you're spending time here, of course, you're not able to play games here. You're already sitting. So be engaged in what's going on. Be involved in the activity here. And that's it. The rest I will take care of. I don't want anything else from you. Just be fully involved in the activities here. Do not let it pass. Acha ho raha hai, chalo koi baat nahi. Don't do that. The only thing I'm asking you. Britain's favorite meal. Is that what we are going to study today? Britain's favorite meal. We did. Okay. Britain's favorite meal. Britain's favorite meal. You have to appreciate the way I pronounce words as well. I do not say meal. I say meal. Okay, so you have to. Okay, good. Read the text and complete the sentences. I don't say sentence, I say sentences. So you have to notice all these things. And when will you notice? When you want to? Otherwise, why would you? Read the text and complete the sentences. Number 1. The Belgians invented chips. The Belgians invented chips. 2.
Joseph Malin was the first person to sell fish and chips in London.
Joseph Malin.
Let me. Acha, somebody's trying to open it.
I was thinking that
Dharmender ji, is that here? The Belgians invented chips, and two, Ross, who? Joseph Malin was the first person to sell fish and chips in London. 3,
Charles Dickens,
wrote about
Charles
fish.
Dickens.
4,
a friend of
Harry Ramsden.
shop in the world
Ramsden.
and 5.
France serves fish and chips into
Oliver Dupart.
Oliver Dupont. Yeah.
chip is eaten because a
Ramsden.
Number 4. Okay, thank you for asking the question. So in number 4, we don't see chips. Okay. And in number 2, we see chips. Okay. Why? Good. I eat mangoes. I eat mangoes. I don't like guavas. I eat mangoes. I don't like guavas. Every time in both the sentence, I'm using the plural, mangoes and guavas. Why is that? They're both countable nouns. I will not say I like milks or I drink milks because milk is uncountable. So I will say I drink milk. Yesterday we talked about how to make general statements, how to say things about something in general. For example, mangoes. Mangoes are green on the outside. Mangoes are juicy. All right. Please take the keys. Now, I like mangoes. I eat mangoes. Right? Why am I saying mangoes? Why not mango? Because I'm talking about the fruit. Mango, the fruit. It is a countable noun. So I will say I like mangoes. I eat mangoes. We all love mangoes. Okay. But if I talk about, let's talk about watermelon. Okay. You will say, sir, it is countable. Yes, the whole round thing is countable. But do we think of that, or do we think of the red part that we, what do you have in your head when you talk about watermelon? The whole thing you eat, or you talk about the inside?
Think
How
about
many do you eat? Those who eat, do they eat 2, 3, 4? No, they eat the part of it. So watermelon is both countable and uncountable. Let me explain. You can count it, 1 watermelon, 2 watermelons, 3 watermelons, no doubt. But you like watermelon. You like not watermelons. You like watermelon because, again, you don't eat 1, 2, 3. You eat watermelon. Do you understand what I'm trying to suggest here? The difference between watermelons and watermelon, the inside part, watermelon, countable and uncountable. How many of you are convinced with what I'm trying to explain? I don't know. You got it. Are you sure? Okay, then fine. Watermelon. Okay. I love watermelon. Huh? We can do that. For example, somebody brings sliced mangoes in front of you in place. Have some mango? Have some? Not mangoes. Because on the plate now you have mango. So you can say have some mango, no issue. Yes, again, we talked about onion chop, onion, the vegetable, countable, uncountable. So when you think of the material, it is uncountable. When you think of it as a common noun, it is countable. So chip is a countable noun. Chip is and plural is chips. So I don't like chips. I like mangoes, but I don't like chips. I eat chips every day. Okay. Do you eat chips? Children love chips. Children love chips. General statement, statement in general about chips. Chips are made with potatoes, are made from potatoes rather. Chips are made from potatoes, okay? Chips are made from potatoes, yes. So chips is a countable plural noun, singular is chip. Now tell me, if you want to say aam ka ped, what will you say? Mango tree or mangoes tree?
Mango tree.
Mango tree. बहुत बार बोला होगा, नहीं बोला तो आदत डाल लो. I have a mango tree behind my house. I have two mango trees. Are Baba. The tree is plural. Mango here is working as an adjective. I have
Yeah.
two mango
Mango
trees,
tree.
not two mangoes trees. I have a mango tree behind my house. I have two mango
tree.
trees behind my house.
Mango is a person, then we can have a apostrophe S and then
Exactly. If mango were a person, right? You will have a son and you would name him Mango, okay? And gift him a tree, all right? And then we would all say Mango's tree. Where is Mango's tree that he got on his birthday from his daddy, a Spurge, okay?
I mango, not mango.
You and your sense of humor. Yes, that is a good pronunciation. Mango, M-A-N-G-O. Yeah, exactly. American pronunciation, mango, otherwise mango. Mango, go bring a mango. Yeah, that would be funny. Okay.
All mango.
Yeah, mango. Mango. Okay, fine. Coming back to this. So you will not say mangoes trees, you will say mango trees. Lot of mango trees. We have a lot of mango trees in our garden. Okay, in our garden, we have a lot of mango trees. Okay. Now, the thing is, mango, not mangoes. So, what kind of shop? Fish and chip shop, not plural, because we did not use the plural mangoes with the word tree. It is working as an adjective. What kind of tree? Mango tree. An apple tree. A computer table. Two computer tables or two computers tables? Computer
Computer
here cannot be
tables.
pluralized because we are not talking about computer, multiple computer. We are talking about multiple tables. So two computer tables, three computer tables. So tell me, the biggest fish and chip shop. What kind of shop? Fish and chip shop. So here you will not use chips. If you use chips here, you are grammatically wrong. Why? I told you. Can you say computers tables? No, you can't. No matter how many tables you have, but computer will remain computer. It is an adjective there, telling you what kind of table, right? I hope you understood. If you didn't, let's discuss this further. Tell me, do you want more discussion on it or you understood?
Got it, sir.
It means you still have a few doubts. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's not embarrassing to have doubts. Okay. Anybody wants to ask me? I'm giving a clear answer. Adjectives are not pluralized in English. A fat girl, two fat girls. Fat cannot be pluralized. Rule number one, which you all understand. I don't have to teach you. Use this rule here. Two mango trees or two mangoes trees.
Two mango trees.
So a
Mango
fish and chip shop or chip shop. Chips double, plural, or only singular. Because adjectives are not pluralized in English.
Yeah.
Simple. You already knew the rule, but you were not able to extrapolate that rule in this context. You could not really extend the use of that rule in this context. यहाँ जो context है अभी fish and chip shop, आप कभी बोलेंगे two fat girls, two big houses? You will never say that. बस वहां से ये चीज को एनालाइज नहीं करके अप्लाई नहीं कर पा रहे यहाँ पे कि why do we say two big houses? Because big is an adjective. It cannot be in the plural form in English. So adjectives are not in plural form in English, right? That's the lesson. So here, computer table, computer is an adjective here, doing the job of an adjective. Yes, it is a noun, and that's why we call it a compound noun. But what job is it doing here? It is telling you what kind of table it is. So it is describing the table in a way or not. So computer table. And that's why it will never be plural. So a fish and chip shop or fish and chips shop. Chip
Fish and
shop.
chip.
A fish and chip shop. Concept clear? Sometimes we need this kind of explanation when it comes to grammar. Otherwise, vocabulary, the uses of words, just listen and learn, accept.
That's why we never say 100 rupee.
Yeah,
100 rupee.
right.
There is a rule. I studied that we not do S because if it's describing about notes or dollars. But
ये सब बताने वाले नहीं समझ रहे हैं, वो थोपे जा रहे हैं, जो उनको पता है थोप दिए. Maybe the students are not interested in this kind of explanation, which cuts across this rule of note or this or that. It's simple. Adjectives are not pluralized in English. That's why we don't do that. चलिए बोलते हैं. Hundreds बोल सकते हैं. Let's see. Hundreds of people.
thousands of people.
Yeah. S is used. No problems. Why? Think of this. Hundreds of people. Thousands of people. तो ऑब से आप दो चीज को जोड़ते हैं, वो दोनों चीजें क्या होती हैं? दोनों तरफ नाउन होंगे. तो नाउन तो प्लूरल हो ही सकता है. तो इन दिस केस दिस 100 is a noun, and that's why we are saying hundreds of people. But when we say 400 boys, okay, then this 100 is not that way. That way it will be considered together as an adjective. 400 boys, 400 computers. वहां पर 100 will not be pluralized. ठीक है. और उसके बाद whenever there is an adjective phrase with a hyphen, you have seen this multiple times in the text here. Multiple times. We do 10-year-old boy. A 10-year hyphen year-old boy, not years-old boy. अगर आप इंग्लिश सही तरीके से पढ़ते हैं तो बहुत सारे फालतू के रूल्स पढ़ने से बच जाएंगे, जिनको याद रखना नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल है. टीचर्स पढ़ा के अपना पिन छुड़ा लेते, मैंने रूल पढ़ा दिया है. ठीक है भाई, तुमने पढ़ा दिया, वो बच्चा कैसे याद करे? तुमने 2000 रूल्स पढ़ाए, 2000 रूल्स कैसे कोई याद करे ओवरऑल? ठीक है. It's better to develop a sense of English language, and that will save you from learning so many unnecessary rules. There was a student in the past. She had studied English for like many years, and she had fantastic fair notebooks, where she wrote everything very neatly, cleanly, in a beautiful way, decorative way, and she liked collecting all those things, but she was very bad at English. Okay. She said, I have studied this much and I'm good. People say I'm a good student, but I find it very difficult to write correct English or speak correct English. Why is that? Then you don't have time to think what is right, what is wrong. You have to make it your habit. She spent around 2.5 years with me. She's a teacher nowadays in a government school. She got a job last year. And yeah, she told me this. Coincidentally, it is not English. She studied some other subject actually, preparing for PPSC or something now. You see, she told me, sir, there's so many rules in my diary, which I don't see why I wrote them. I know those things anyway. I use them correctly now, and I don't think about those rules. I said, when you didn't know English, then you needed those rules. Okay. But when you have developed a sense of English language, those rules seem like obvious thing. मैं आपको rules लिखाऊं. Switch on करने से पंखा चलता है. आप लिखिए इसको. बोले क्यों लिखें? What's the point of writing this? Switch on करने से बहुत सी मशीन चलती हैं. आप क्यों लिखवा रहे हैं ये? It will not make sense. But someone who has never seen a fan, someone who has never seen a switch, for them it is a rule. हाँ भाई लिख लो, याद करके बताना है, कल पूछा जाएगा. Switch on करने से क्या चलता है? पंखा चलता है. Someone who has never seen a switch, someone who has never seen a fan, for that person it is an important rule. क्योंकि कल सवाल पूछा जाएगा, switch on करने से क्या चलता है? तो लिखेगा पंखा चलता है. That's the difference between that student and a student who has seen a पंखा and a switch. तो ये सीन का जो बात हो रहा है, एक्सपोजर का, जो इंग्लिश सुनता रहता है, जो गांव के बच्चे छोड़ दें उनको, बेचारे क्या करें, दे हैव जीरो एक्सपोजर, सारे रूल्स पढ़ते बेचारे। ओके, तो दिस इज देयर सिचुएशन। पता नहीं है समझ में आएगी मेरी बात आप लोगों को, कितने लोगों को समझ में आएगी। आई कीप सेइंग दिस थिंग्स, इट्स बीन मी ईयर्स, बट आई कुड नॉट रियली कन्विंस अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल। आई हैव ऑलरेडी गिवन अप। I only know a handful of people will appreciate what I say. Most of them will not. There are two reasons. Those who are good at English, they don't need to hear this. And those who are not good at English, they will never work that hard the way I want them to. Okay? This girl has already learned quite a bit of English. Don't think I'm, singling you out. Okay? But I just want to use you as an example here. She's already good at English. Did she make a special effort to be good at English? Ask her. Ask her. Have you made any special effort to be good at English? No. Now is time to make a special effort. She's not happy with that. Now the question is, she's in class 9, 8. So she has reached class 8, means 10 years at school. So whatever she has learned is a collection in 8 years, is her accumulation in 8 years or 10 years. That's a lot of time. If you study the right way for 3-4 years, you can accumulate a lot more than that. Okay. Real skills. Let's continue. Britain's favorite meal. Now, did you get your answer? Why it is not chips? बोले इतना लंबा आंसर तो मुझे नहीं चाहिए था, यही मेरी गलती है. And again, in question number 5 and 2, they go chips, because you're talking about that thing as a noun. Somebody serves fish and chips, and he was the first person to sell what? Fish and chips. Britain's favorite meal. The Portuguese gave us fried fish. The Portuguese gave us fried fish. And the Belgians invented chips. They invented chips. And then, more than 150 years ago, the British put them together to create fish and chips. How interesting. The Portuguese gave us fried fish. So who was the first people to fry fish? It was the Portuguese. Okay. They were the first people to fry fish. And the Belgians, they were the first people to make chips. And what did the British do? They put them together and they created fish and chips.
All except the Asians, they have only one flour to dip and fry, but we have many things.
Spices,
Yeah,
most important.
and many maida.
His fathers tried to put two things together and one thing.
Well, I would say that India has been the, a jewel, the biggest jewel in the crown, I'm saying it the wrong way actually, but I should say it this way, that India, recently, I mean, after the exploitation by the British, we became a poor country and we lost a lot of our specialities and all that were stolen, or they were kind of, I will say, hijacked. There were things that we owned and many other things were hijacked by the British. I'm talking about expertise as well. Why do you respect somebody? Because they have expertise. India was, if there was a time when we were Vishwaguru, which we are trying to be, and it is a very politically charged statement to make, because it sounds like, a BJP's propaganda thing. But there was a time when India was actually a Vishwaguru. We were the leader. We were showing them the path, right? We were. Why were we? Because of money, because of knowledge, right? Because of knowledge, right? We are no longer the same people, somehow. Um, yeah, we were very different from the rest of the world. Always, we Indians and China. China too, they have had a great civilization. Because these things are not part of our syllabus, we don't know. We have a rivalry with China, but Chinese, culture, civilization is one of the greatest cultures to survive, civilizations to survive today. A lot of civilizations have already have already come to an end, you know, and these two civilizations are the oldest civilization surviving, Chinese and Indian civilization. Yes, but we have, huh? Japanese too. Okay, China and you know, I don't know about the past, but they have a rivalry. But maybe, who knows? Because they look very similar. Their language is also very similar. So, you know, who knows? Maybe they were the same people, and then they, you know, Japanese people went on to that island and lived there, evolved in a different way. Their language changed. Maybe, who knows? Mm.
Same kind of place in India also, in eastern side.
Mm. Exactly. The Portuguese gave us fried fish. The Belgians invented chips. Again, a statement. Fried fish, invented chips. Then, more than 150 years ago, the British put them together to create fish and chips. Today, Britain has lots of fish and chip shops. Again, singular chip shops.
Different thing. Then more than 150 years ago.
Hmm.
Okay.
More than 150 years ago, 152, 153, 54.
From
Example. I am not getting this sentence. Then more than 150 years ago.
from now or now this time from
The Portuguese gave us fried fish long time ago. They invented, the Belgians invented chips long time ago. And then what happened? Little more than 150 years ago, the British put them together and created fish and chips.
from now.
150 years ago means from now, you know, maybe in 1850 or 60, you know, something like that. Today, Britain has lots of fish and chip shops. Again, fish and chip, because it's an adjective, working the job, doing the job of an adjective. What kind of shops? Fish and chip shops. Today, Britain has lots of fish and chip shops. Over 10,500, 10,500, 10,500. They make, they who?
Brazil.
These fish and chip shops. Okay, these fish and chip shops. Yeah, they make over 1.2 billion pounds a year. Together, these shops make more than 1.2 billion pounds a year selling fish and chips only. What does it mean? In England, fish and chips is very popular or not very popular?
Very
1.2 billion pounds they make together. However, this million pound industry, देख लो फिर से आ गया. Multi भी है, million है, millions नहीं है. क्यों? Hyphen वाले adjective phrases हैं. Yeah, this multi-million pound industry, in this industry, what kind of industry? Multi-million pound industry. This industry, simple. What kind of industry? Multi-million pound industry. Grew from small beginnings. Grew from small beginnings. The start was not so big. The start was not that great. It grew from small beginnings. बोल के दिखाओ beginnings.
beginnings.
Beginnings. हम लोग उसको बड़ा म्यूजिकल बना बिगनिंग है ना, बिगनिंग picnic, tabrak, beginning, right? But now it is not, it doesn't have that rhythm. The rhythm is beginning. Yeah. From the very beginning, okay? And the verb is begin, not begin. Begin. That is V2. I'm talking about V1. Begin. Yeah. How it all happened, how it all began. So how did it start? 150 years ago, on the streets of the East End of London, okay, a 13-year-old boy called Joseph Mullin had the bright idea, very special idea, smart idea, right? Bright idea. Here, bright means his idea gave a lot of light, like a bright bulb, like the bright sun. A bright idea is a very smart idea, right? He had the bright
Mind-blowing
idea.
idea.
Sorry, Zafri?
Mind-blowing ideas.
A mind-blowing idea. Very good. The bright idea of combining fried fish with chips. Joseph's family didn't have much money. So guys, try this, okay? Fry fish and buy chips from the shops and eat them together. See how it tastes. I don't think you will like it.
This is not that cheap.
And nothing, Britain don't have or doesn't have the kind of, cuisine that India possesses, India has, okay? So our food is a lot tastier than any British food. British food is known to be bland. British food is known to be bland, means they don't have much taste. British food items, British foods don't have much taste. Yeah.
All and taste of Dalian.
They don't know spices. I mean, they use now, like, by the way, let me tell you, if you talk about the most popular food in England, London, it is not fish and chips. It is an Indian chicken curry.
Butter chicken.
Yes,
Yeah.
an Indian chicken curry is the most popular dish in London.
Yes.
Sir, it is national food of them.
It is the national food of
No, it's not a national food.
Yeah,
then.
London, national food of London.
London. It can't be because of, London is not a nation, so it can't be the national food of London. But
No, maybe Britain or I
Google
forgot.
it, maybe. Ask ChatGPT. Interesting, isn't it? That the most popular food in London is an Indian chicken curry,
Especially butter chicken, sir.
butter chicken.
England, sir, England, national food of England.
It is. It is the national food of England, by the way. The chicken curry.
Is that good?
Where? A small one, a big one.
Population plan.
Yeah, let it fly on your face. Joseph's family, he had the bright idea of combining fried fish with chips. Joseph's family didn't have much money. So to increase the family income, Joseph's family didn't have much money. Many of my students feel this way. "हाँ, ये सब तो एकदम आसान है. Why are we reading this again and again? आसान ही को तो छोड़ के बढ़ जाते ही गलती है. आसान से ही स्किल डेवलप होता है. आप जो काम कर ही नहीं सकते वो मतलब थोड़ा बहुत भी नहीं कर सकते, एकदम नहीं कर सकते, स्किल कैसे डेवलप कर रहे हैं? सोचिए. Please understand, Joseph's family didn't have much money. I'm repeating this sentence. Why? Because a lot of you guys here don't use it very confidently, the past tense. Okay. So I'm saying it 2 times, 3 times, so that it gets registered. Okay. Joseph's family didn't have much money. So to increase the family income, they began frying chips. They began frying chips to increase. What was the main idea? They didn't want to start a big business or something. They just wanted to increase the income.
Family
Yeah,
income.
income. So they began frying chips. Joseph's family. They began frying fish, frying chips actually in a downstairs room. In a अब मुझे बताओ downstairs का part of a speech.
Adjective.
Adverb of place.
Adjective, sir.
Adjective. गलत जवाब. Adjective. In a downstairs room.
Don't
In what kind of room? Room के बारे में कुछ पता है?
Downstairs.
Adjective. In a downstairs room of their house. Okay. They began frying chips in a downstairs room of their house. Nearby was a fried fish shop. अब nearby का part of speech बताओ. Adverb of place. कहाँ? Nearby. Nearby was a fried fish shop. अब इससे लेसन क्या मिला कि अगर adverb of place से sentence start करें तो inversion दिखता है. देखो inversion दिखा, was पहले है, shop बाद में. कुछ दिमाग जा रहा है? नैन्सी के दिमाग में कुछ जा रहा है? पता वहां पर क्या अजीब है?
There can be comma and there. There is missing. Whereby there was a child.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. At least you made some observation. Good. Let me tell you. कॉर्नर में एक टीवी है, तो देयर इज अ टीवी इन द कॉर्नर, लेकिन इन द कॉर्नर से शुरू कर दो. इन द कॉर्नर
Was a TV?
is a TV. In the corner is a TV. इसमें नया इंफॉर्मेशन टीवी है, कॉर्नर नहीं. ध्यान दीजिएगा. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. इस सेंटेंस में नया इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है? टीवी. ना कि कॉर्नर में है, ये नहीं. कॉर्नर में क्या है? टीवी. तो आप रूम डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हो. इन द कॉर्नर, रूम है तो कॉर्नर तो हो गई. तो नया इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है कि कॉर्नर में क्या है? इन द कॉर्नर इज अ टीवी. इन द कॉर्नर इज अ स्टैच्यू. In the corner is my study table. ठीक है. तो in English, new information normally goes at the end of the sentence. अब जरा ये वाला sentence सुनिए. There is a table in the corner. There is a table in the corner. ये sentence भी सही है, वही मैसेज देता है, लेकिन कहीं कहीं पे दोनों में हल्का सा चेंज होता है. क्या है कि in the corner is a TV. There is a TV in the corner. Okay. अच्छा, अगर इस सेंटेंस को इससे कंपेयर करें, द टीवी इज इन द कॉर्नर, द टीवी इज इन द कॉर्नर, तो एकदम अलग ही मामला हो जाता है. द टीवी इज इन द कॉर्नर से आप ये बता रहे कि टीवी कहाँ है, ये नहीं बता रहे कि कोने में क्या है. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, देयर आर टू क्वेश्चंस. कोने में क्या है और टीवी कहाँ है. तो जवाब कौन सा देंगे? अगर पूछे कोने में क्या है तो देयर इज अ टीवी.
In the corner is the TV.
There is a TV. In the corner is a TV. There is a TV. ये दोनों एक जैसे हो. लेकिन पूछा जाए टीवी कहाँ है? It is in the corner. The TV is in the corner. जानकारी आपने दी ना आखिर में. Normally new information goes at the end of the sentence in English. आप कभी पूछे होंगे टीचर से, When I go to school, I feel tired. I feel tired when I go to school. दोनों में फर्क क्या है? आगे पीछे कर देने से. There is only small difference. आप क्या बताना चाह रहे हैं? If you are more interested in time कि आप tired कब feel करते हैं, तो टाइम को आप बाद में रखिए. I feel tired when I go to school. और अगर पूछा जाए आप स्कूल जाते तो कैसा फील करते हैं? When I go to school, I feel tired. यही है. The information at the end is your new information. That is what you want to convey. I hope you understood a little bit. Now try and observe this when you read your books. The new information usually goes at the end of the sentence.
Like the moral of the story is always in the end.
Okay, let's see. So nearby was a fried fish shop. Near where? Near his house. ये established
Near
है
his-
और कोई जगह नहीं इसका आंसर होगा. Near where? Near his house. इसीलिए हम लोगों ने एक वर्ड क्या यूज कर लिया? Nearby. Nearby was a fried fish shop. पास ही में, किस चीज के पास? मेरे घर के, आपके घर में, स्कूल के, कहाँ? जोसेफ के घर के पास. It is understood. So we said nearby was a fried fish shop. And Joseph put some fried fish with his chips and walked the streets. He put some fried fish. He put some fried fish because there nearby there was a fried fish shop. So he bought some fish and put the fish with his chips and walked the streets. Walked the. Okay. He walked the streets. He sold the fish. He sold the fish and chips from a tray. He sold the fish and chips from a tray which hung round his neck. कॉमा देखिएगा, ट्रे के बाद कॉमा. ये ट्रे को पहचानवाने की कोशिश नहीं की जा रही है, बताया जा रहा है कि ट्रे कहाँ है. ट्रे के बारे में एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन. ये ट्रे जो था वो सीख लो, फिर दोबारा इस तरह का एक्सप्लेनेशन मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा मुझे नहीं पता. जहां ग्रामर आता है वहां देख लो. ट्रे के बाद कॉमा है. ये कॉमा क्यों है? कई बार विच के पहले कॉमा नहीं दिखता. हाँ देखिए, क्या ये विच बताना चाह रहा है कि कौन सा ट्रे? Where is the tray which I gave you yesterday? यहाँ पर वो विच क्या कर रहा है? पहचानवा रहा है. वो वाला ट्रे जो मैंने कल तुम्हें दिया था. ये विच क्या कर रहा है? पहचानवा रहा है. कौन सा tray? The tray which I gave you yesterday. I hope you understand. ये which क्या कर रहा है? पहचानवा रहा है. यहाँ देखिए. From a tray which hung from round his neck. Okay. Joseph sold lots of fish and chips. Joseph sold. So he decided to open a fish and chip shop. So he decided to open, because he sold lots of fish and chips. So he decided to open a shop. And it was the first of many fish and chip shops in Britain. So Joseph Mullin was the first person to sell fish and chips. Fish and chips became a favorite. It became a favorite एक noun है. It became a favorite because एक किस चीज के पहले लग nouns के पहले. It became a favorite with poor people. It became a favorite with poor people. Fish and chips became a favorite with poor people. They didn't cost much money. They refers to
Fish and chips.
fish and chips. Two things. That's why they. ध्यान से देखिएगा. ठीक है? Fish and chips. They didn't cost much money, and they were quick and tasty. ठीक है? However, if you want to talk about fish and chips, okay, as one dish, you can use the word it as well. Understand? They didn't cost much money and they were quick and tasty. Charles Dickens, the famous Victorian novelist, wrote about fried fish warehouses. Warehouses where something is made. Karkhana, warehouses. Yes, exactly, warehouses. Okay, made and kept, like a karkhana type. Okay. In his book, Oliver Twist, the dispute. There is a dispute between India and Pakistan. There is a dispute, right? Kashmir. They say Kashmir belongs to them, right? They say Kashmir belongs to them. We say Kashmir belongs to us. This is our dispute. This is our dispute. We have. Okay, that's not the point. The point is how to explain the word dispute. Okay, understand the word dispute? It's something that we quarrel about. Okay, we don't have a dispute with each other. Okay, there's nothing that we are quarreling over. Okay, dispute. They say, Pakistan says, Kashmir is a disputed territory. Kashmir is a disputed territory. We say, no, there is no dispute. Kashmir belongs to us. Okay. They say that the world needs to come, and maybe solve this problem. Okay. Because it is a disputed territory. We have border disputes. We have border disputes with China too. China also makes claims over Arunachal Pradesh. Okay.
What?
The dispute. Dispute means, you understand now? Something that we quarrel about. Okay. The dispute. However, there are some questions about how the dish really began. There are some questions. Not everybody accepts this idea of Joseph Mullin. There are some questions about how the dish really began. In the north of England, a lot of people don't believe Joseph Mullin's story. In the north of England, a lot of people don't believe Joseph Mullin's story. They say a man called John Lees began selling fish and chips in a market in Mosley. In the north of England, they have a different idea. They don't believe this story, Joseph Mullin's story.
Right, some people don't believe artifacts invented.
Right. They say a man called John Lees began selling fish and chips in a market in Mosley, Lancashire in 1863. And this guy, when did he do that? Joseph Mullin. We don't have the year for him. Okay. In 1863, a guy called John Lees, he started selling fish and chips in a market in Mosley. Today, there is a plaque there in his honor. There is a plaque there. A plaque is a board, okay, wooden, metal plaque, okay. There is a plaque there in his honor. John Lees, right? Whatever the truth, सच चाहे जो भी हो, कैसे बोलते हैं इंग्लिश? Whatever the truth. Phrase अच्छा लगा तो सीखे. Whatever the truth, अच्छा. चाहे जो भी वजह हो, कैसे बोलेंगे? नहीं, मैं जो whatever the reason, ताकि आपको वहाँ नाउन मिले. पहले पैटर्न प्रैक्टिस कर, तभी वो दूसरे डायरेक्शन में चल जाएगा. हिंदी मिलाना नहीं, इंग्लिश मिलाना. Whatever the चाहे जो भी वजह हो, whatever the reason, but they decided to, separate. Some people say this was the reason, some people say something else was the reason, whatever the reason, but they decided to separate. Means we are not going into the reason here, but whatever the reason, they decided to separate. चाहे जो भी वजह हो, उन लोगों ने डिसाइड किया कि वो अब साथ नहीं रहेंगे. They decided to separate. Whatever the truth, the dish became extremely popular. That much is true. We don't know what actually, who actually started. Whatever the truth, maybe it was Joseph Mullen, it was, which Lees, John Lees, we don't know. Whatever the truth, the dish became extremely popular.
No, but this is very popular is not a problem. We are studying this is problem.
By 1910, there were more than 25,000 shops. By 1910. When did the dish start? In 1863, according to the North of England people. John Lees started. Or around the same time, somewhere in London, a boy called Joseph Mullin started it. And by 1910, within 40 years, 50 years, there were more than 25,000 shops across the country. By 1910. These 25,000 shops opened in 1910. You decide, Nancy. These 25,000 shops opened in 1910. True or false? What's going through your mind? I can clearly see you're not here. This is what I've been saying. You have not made any special effort to learn English, whatever you have learned. That's why your speed has been a certain, not very fast. If you make a special effort, you can learn faster. I read this sentence. By 1910, there were more than 25,000 shops across the country. Now tell me, when did these 25,000 shops open? In 1910. True or false? Then what? I'm going to confuse you a lot because you're not involved. Then when? If not in 1910, then when? It's written here. Read. By 1910, there were more than 25,000 shops. इसका मतलब क्या बेटा? क्या हुआ इसका मतलब? अरे रुको ना. हाँ बेटा. 25,000. By 1910, चलो ध्यान से सुनो बेटा. From 1863 to 1910, in this period, 25,000 shops opened. It's not in 1 year, right? In that period. And that's why the phrase is by 1910. Both ways, open and were open both. They are ergative verbs. Okay. So by 1910, there were more than 25,000 shops across the country. 1910 आते आते, हिंदी ध्यान देना, मैंने बोला है 1910 आते आते. तुम इसको अगर लाइक ऐसे ही ले ली, हाँ ठीक, 1910 आते. क्यों? बाय लिखा है, गौर से करो. अच्छा, मैं नहीं, 1910 आते आते, यानी कि पहले से प्रोसेस चल रहा था. 1910 आते आते, there were 25,000 shops across the country. And over 35,000 by the 1920s. So from 1910 to 1920, how many shops were added? How many new shops opened? In those 10 years, 10,000 new shops opened. By the 1920s, by the 19? No, not the 10 years, not the 10 years, sorry, 20 years. The 1920s means 29 तक जा सकते हैं ना इसमें. By the 19 20s, 20 nahi beta, 20s. So from 1910 to 1920s, 29, there were 35,000 shops, means 10,000 more shops opened. In 1931, अब देखो in आया, by नहीं आया, अब है in 1931, Harry Ramsden from Yorkshire opened a fish and chip shop. In 1931, Harry Ramsden opened, from Yorkshire, opened a fish and chip shop. Palace, not fish chip shop, palace. It was a palace, modeled on the Ritz Hotel in London. Ritz Hotel is a very big hotel in London, one of the most expensive hotels in the world, and one of the oldest as well. Ritz Hotel, it has got a lot of reputation. So a man opened a shop which was modeled on the Ritz Hotel. It was modeled on the Ritz Hotel. Why do you guys go to the Durga Puja Mela? To enjoy, ठीक है? आगे बोलिए. To see the pandals. To see the pandals. Yeah, आगे देखिए कैसे लैंग्वेज समझ में आता है लोगों को, ध्यान दीजिए. These pandals are modeled on some very famous buildings.
Like
Sometimes Burj Khalifa, sometimes this, temple, sometimes that building. Yes. तो अभी उसी को बोलो ना, मॉडल वर्ब ले लो ना यहाँ से, सामने सिखा तो रहे हैं तुम्हें यही चीज कि लास्ट ईयर, चलो ये सच नहीं है, बस ऐसी बोलो. लास्ट ईयर बड़ी पहाड़ी पंडाल वाज मॉडल्ड ऑन हो गया. लो, जो तुम इतना बोलने की हिम्मत कोशिश कर रही थी, इसमें ये कर लो बस. लास्ट ईयर बड़ी पहाड़ी पंडाल वाज मॉडल्ड ऑन, जो बोलना है, जो था अक्षरधाम टेम्पल, लो हो गया, मतलब अक्षरधाम टेम्पल जैसा बनाया था. इट वाज मॉडल्ड ऑन in Patna, a pandal. हाँ हाँ, very good. हो गया, आसान हो गया. It's not true. It's true. Okay. All right. So modeled on. Okay. Yeah, मतलब उसी के जैसा है ना, modeled on. Okay. उसी को बेस बना के कैसा करना है. Okay. I have modeled my classes on international language classes. There are native speaker teachers, they teach this way, and I model my classes on their style, on their classes. It means I'm trying to teach the way they teach. I try not to use much Hindi. Why? Because native speaker teachers don't use other languages.
Yeah.
They speak English in their class because that's what they want to teach. Lots of people visited the original shop. There are now Harry Ramsden's fish and chip shops all over the world. By the way, that Harry Ramsden fish and chip shop, that he opened like a palace, modeled on Ritz Hotel, he opened fish and chip shops everywhere across the world, like a chain restaurant thing. Today, there are Harry Ramsden's fish and chip shops all over the world. Fish and chips today. Nowadays, क्या difference है nowadays और these days में?
Sir, nowadays, like from nowadays, I can explain. Nowadays, we don't eat dal chawal regularly. But back then we were eating it very.
When we want to contrast
Yeah.
today with the past,
Yeah.
then we use nowadays.
Nowadays. And
But when we want to talk about a temporary
same
pattern or trend or something, we use these days.
thing that,
The
like,
intention is not to compare it with the past. The intention is to focus on a temporary trend. Then we use these days.
these days,
Something temporary. These days I'm
Irregular.
sleeping less. Yeah, these days I'm sleeping less. Okay,
I'm irregular in class.
right. Yeah, like that. Nowadays means something different from the past. Nowadays, girls also want to have career. Very good. Not as healthy as in the past. Okay. Yeah, obesity is a real issue. Nowadays, there are many other kinds of fast food. Yes. Nowadays, there are many other kinds of fast food, such as burgers, kebabs, and pizzas. There are much more popular. They are much more popular. They are. अब बताओ much और more क्यों लगाया है?
तो इनके सारी
Yeah, absolutely correct. अगर आप much drop कर दो, meaning वही है. They are more popular. They are more popular. हो गया. Comparative more popular. मैं आपसे लंबा हूँ English. हम आपसे बहुत लंबे हैं.
I'm much taller than you.
So,
नहीं, वो गलत करी, आप लोग भी गलत कर रहे हैं. आप मैंने कहा हम आपसे बहुत ज्यादा लंबा है. नहीं, मोर करेंगे नहीं क्योंकि हमारे पास कंपैरेटिव है टॉलर. आई एम मच taller than you. I'm much taller than you. Got it. They are much more popular than fish and chips. However, in Paris, France, lay fish and chips is becoming the chic new meal. Chic fancy. Halaki chic has many meanings. We don't want to go into that. Chic means fancy here. Okay. A chic meal means fancy meal. A chic shop. It means a fancy shop. Chic new meal. Fancy new meal. It appears on menus. It appears on menus. It's becoming, fish and chips is becoming a fancy meal. It appears on menus in some of Paris's most fashionable restaurants. It appears, fish and chip, this dish. It yahan kyun likha? The dish appears on menus in some of Paris's most fashionable restaurants. What's the doubt?
doubt that
We were taught. We were taught. हम लोग को पढ़ाया गया था. We studied.
this word like Paris has ended with S. And if we add apostrophe, then you have not to add S.
Okay. It's very complicated, actually. There are no rules which don't have exceptions or where people all agree. Okay. There are disagreements. This is controversial a little bit. People have different opinions. Okay. People means experts. Experts don't have the same. There are certain places where S is not used, which is correct. And there are places where S is used. Understand? I know what you're talking about. जैसे माता बोलना है, I don't want to live in my parents' house all my life. I don't want to live in my parents' house all my life. Parents तो S से खत्म होता है, plural. तो सिर्फ apostrophe देना is enough. उसमें S लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay? I don't want to live in my parents' house. एक खाली parents के बाद खाली S कर देना है. S नहीं लिखना है. Okay? But like I said, this is not that simple. There are disagreements. Even grammarians disagree. Some grammarians say this, some grammarians say that. So you can totally ignore it.
Sound
ना उसके लिए है कुछ उपाय है. There are hacks. वो क्या पूछेंगे उसमें क्या करना है. Okay. It appears on menus in some of Paris's most fashionable restaurants. This fish and chips. People love them for lunch or supper, says Chef Oliver Dupont. People love them for lunch or supper. Lunch and supper are both considered light meals. Lunch and supper both are considered light meals. There are full meals, heavy meals, that's called dinner. Dinner is called heavy, all right? English breakfast is also a big meal, by the way. But lunch and supper are considered light meals. However, some people use the words. Yes, exactly. Some people think supper means dinner and they use it as a main meal too. Again, disagreement on vocabulary. Depends on which region you come from. So people eat this for lunch or supper. I couldn't check the homework, the exercises number 14 and 15. I will check that tomorrow. Please don't forget to do the exercises 14 and 15. All right. You have to correct the false statements. Yes. There aren't many fish and chip shops in Britain. There are a lot of fish and chip shops in Britain. ये नहीं cross करके छोड़ दें. If the statement is not true, you have to correct it. Okay. Let's meet tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye.